The official voting is coming this week on Trump's big stimulus package, as represented right here in this article, which I will be popping up on the screen for you in just a minute, so you can see exactly what is outlined within this legislation and the official timelines and votes that they will be hosting on this piece of legislation. Also, a little bit later in this video, I will be having a little bit of a Q&A, just answering some of the questions that I've seen out there down below in the comment section, as well as what I do anticipate coming in here on this video as well, but that'll be a little bit later here in this video. All right, so in just a second here, I'm going to pop this up. Again, just an article that's out there in regards to the big, beautiful bill, otherwise known as the reconciliation bill, or the stimulus package that we've all been hearing about for so long now. And they're moving forward with this, and this week they'll be hosting the official votes on this thing in the House of Representatives, which I want you to be aware of this because this last couple weeks here, they've been holding multiple different committee votes and procedural votes and all kinds of just basically practice votes to continue to move this forward. But this week is the official vote that's coming in, again, to pass it through the House. There's a couple snags out there that are still holding this thing up a little bit, but for the most part, it's free sailing here, and they're likely going to have this thing passed literally in just a matter of days. All right, so let's pop up this article. You can kind of scan through it if you want and kind of look through the details within it. I'm not going to cover everything just because there's obviously a lot within it, but I do want to point out a couple different key factors within this legislation and what we can expect from here. But remember this much as well. They can add all kinds of amendments. There's a lot of things that they can still add. Last minute, they could add something. But remember this much as well. This is going to be the vote within the House of Representatives. It has to go to the Senate after that. The Senate could come in and add all kinds of amendments or provisions that they want and pass that version. If that's what they do, if they add any amendments, if they change it in any way, shape, or form, it must go back to the House and be passed again. So this process could easily be carried out for quite a few weeks and quite a bit longer. We would fully anticipate the Senate to add some amendments, and then the House would have to repass it in their chamber, right? So we've got a lot to go here. Just because it passes through the House does not mean it's passed officially yet. The president would still need to sign it into law and all the details like that after the Senate passes it. So we've got a lot of time here. However, the timeline in this is, as I'm seeing right now, and again, all of this is subject to change, but as of right now, it looks like they're going to hold some votes on this thing on Thursday, okay? That could change, but it's looking like Thursday is possibly the day in which this will likely pass through the House. It'll then go on to the Senate. Now, here's also the big part about this. They want to have this fully passed through the House and through the Senate and on the president's desk no later than the 4th of July, which is about, I don't know, what is that, 6 weeks from right now, give or take a little bit. It's roughly 6 weeks from right now, which is super weird to think about. Like, wow, 4th of July already in 6 weeks? That's nuts. But anyway, that is the time frame, and they want to have this to him by then, okay? Originally, the time frame was by Memorial Day. Obviously, that's not happening. There's no possible way that it can. Okay, but anyway, a couple key provisions within this that I want to point out for you, okay? Number one is the $4,000 expansion of the bonus standard deduction. We've talked about this a little bit before in other videos. There's a lot of really bad headlines out there, which I've kind of brought to the attention of those of you here in this community, suggesting it's something other than a boost to the standard deduction. That's literally what it is. There's some really bad headlines suggesting it's something else, which it's not. But anyway, that's what that is. Okay, so that would be within here. They're also going to be changing SNAP in a huge way. The SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, otherwise known as food stamps. We've talked about that before in great detail in other videos. But they also want to expand the child tax credit payment a little bit, teeny tiny bit, $500. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to dismiss $500 and act like that's nothing. But honestly, $500? Really? Come on, guys. That's nothing. That's not much. But anyway, I mean, it's certainly better than nothing, okay? Anyway, they want to increase the child tax credit up to $2,500, okay? So that's what they would want to do going forward. And a lot of this, by the way, just want to throw this out there super fast, is a lot of this is going to be expiring as of 2028. So even though a lot of this is, coming in, it looks like, oh, this is great, this is awesome, this is going to be so good. A lot of this would be expiring in just a few years. So it's not like super far out from right now. Okay. Some of the other situations or some of the other provisions within here: no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime pay. And then they also want to put some provisions in there for new car purchasers or buyers as well. Okay. But the rest of it is mostly focused on, a lot of this is focused on business. Okay. Business tax deductions or write-offs and all kinds of other things like that. That's what the bulk of this is coming in. It caps out, or it makes permanent basically the tax thresholds or the tax brackets for individual earners, things like that. So not a whole lot of changes there, which I don't really think that impacts a whole lot of people here in this community. I'm just saying, but nonetheless, it probably does. That's about it. I mean, there's a lot in this, but most of it, the vast majority of this, is focused on businesses. So different deductions that they can take and all kinds of different write-offs and things like that. So that's the bulk of what this is going on. However, I want to point this out. We've talked about this many times before. Anything could be added into this for the most part, with the exception of a few things like major Social Security reform cannot be within this, but they could add things like stimulus, right? Again, I'm not saying that it's going to. All I'm saying is that they could if they desire to do that. We've got a lot to go here. So when it passes through the House in a matter of days here, and we feel like, man, they forgot about us again. They didn't do anything. They didn't add a stimulus check like we've requested of them so many times. Okay, that's as of now. But remember, still needs to get to the Senate, pass through the Senate. If they make any changes, it needs to go back to the House and passed again. So we've got a bit of time here, even though it feels like, oh, we're right down to the stretch here. We're right down to the last couple of days here, and they're going to have this whole thing wrapped up. It feels that way and kind of that way, but it's certainly far from over. We've got a lot of discussion to go, and all it really takes is a couple holdouts within the Senate, even within the House. All it really takes is a couple holdouts, lawmakers, that basically say, nope, we need to have this one provision. We need to do this one thing within this package. And then if they don't vote, if they vote against it, they could just collapse the whole program or the whole legislation, right? Anyway, you get the whole point behind that. But there are very slim margins in the House and the Senate as far as Republican control, who is obviously voting on this because it's a reconciliation bill. But the point being is that basically any of them, any small group of them could come together and say, hey, we demand this or that to be added into this. And they could hold up the whole thing and basically get their demands because they have to, because they need those votes. Does that kind of make sense? All right, anyway, a couple questions that I've seen showing up. Does it contain a stimulus check? As of right now, no. Okay, I've seen the questions coming in. I anticipate other people here in this community are going to ask that. There's a lot of headlines out there suggesting, oh, it's the Trump stimulus package. It's going to contain all kinds of money for people. As of right now, not really. Just being fair with you, okay? So, question being, stimulus checks in this? Not right now. Nope, not right now. Okay, the $4,000 bonus to the standard deduction, is that a raise to Social Security? I've talked about this before in other videos because I've seen the headlines out there, really bad headlines for people that apparently they don't understand this. No, it's not a raise or a boost to Social Security, but rather it's a bonus to the standard deduction. We all get to take the standard deduction on our tax return. This is for those people that are age 65 or over that can take the standard deduction plus the bonus right now. Right now, I believe the bonus on that is like $1,600. They want to raise it to $4,000. So no, it has nothing to do with the Social Security boost whatsoever, but rather an additional standard deduction somebody that's 65 or over could possibly take on their tax return. Again, not tax advice, not accounting advice, not advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm not your accountant. I'm not your CPA. Please talk to your own professionals, and they can advise you further from there. Again, this is just general information. Okay? So yeah, we'll see what else happens here. But those are some of the common questions. Again, I just want to point that out for you really quickly. Otherwise, I hope this helps you. Otherwise, again, as always, if you need any help with your Medicare, if you have questions on Medicare, initial enrollment in Medicare, if you're turning 65, if you're retiring, if you're moving across state lines or county lines, or if you need any assistance with your supplement plan, your Medigap plan, your Part D plan, your Medicare Advantage, anything like that, please take advantage of this free service right here. Please, this right here, the team of trusted advisors right there, they're waiting on standby to help you. please give them a call. Write that phone number down. Take a picture, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. Write it down. But they're there to help you through your Medicare. It's massively confusing. We cultivated this partnership last year. Well, actually earlier this year, but this whole thing started last year when my parents turned 65. They enrolled in Medicare. We hacked it all out ourselves. It was a bad situation. And then I went on this quest. Hey, we need to find somebody. We need to find a group. We need to find a trusted group of advisors that are willing to help the people here in this community completely for free navigate Medicare. Check it out. This is what we found right here. This team of trusted advisors, and we partnered with them to help those of you here in this community navigate your Medicare. And again, go to them with your list of questions. We've all got a list of questions. Call them, ask them your questions. It's okay. Not a big deal. That's what they're there for. Do it. Seriously, you'll be glad that you did. Otherwise, again, initial enrollment, if you're turning 65 or retiring, if you need help or questions with your supplement, Medigap plan, Part D, Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be, ask them. They have access to over 20,000 plans. They're working diligently every single day to help seniors. They're saving the average senior $1,100, which, by the way, that is not guaranteed, but that is the average savings by seniors who call that number and connect with a trusted advisor right there and get that assistance, okay? They're getting that assistance, and they're looking through the plans all across your region to find you the best plan at the best price with the best coverages and the best fit for you and your personal needs. Again, so you can see the doctors you want to see, the providers you want to see, the networks you want to be within, the offices, the clinics you want to go to, the prescription needs if you have any at all. They're looking through all of that, and they truly want to find you your best option to get you the best coverages, to save you a bunch of money, and think how good and amazing that would feel to have the right coverages, the best plan for you that's out there in your local area, and possibly save a boatload of money on top of that. Does that not sound like a win-win-win for everybody? And by the way, it's free to work with them. I don't know about you, but I love free, and that sounds amazing to me. To have somebody else do all the work for you, all the grunt work, all the research, find everything, you just sit back and wait for the answers, and then you basically just get to say, I like it, or no, I don't like it. But here's a bunch of questions. Totally fine too, right? Amazing. Anyway, take advantage of the free service right here. Again, write the phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot, and we're only a few months out from annual enrollment. You'll certainly want to connect with them during that if you've not done so, simply because so they can review your plan and find you better options. Things change every single year, and you've got to look at your plans. Anyway, who do you know? Think of a few people. I know you know a few people, 1, 2, 3 people that you know. Friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, coworkers, parents, neighbors down the street, neighbors down the hall, your favorite cashier at the local grocery store or pharmacy, or the mail delivery person, somebody like that. Please share this phone number with them as well so they can also take advantage of the free service and get some help with their Medicare needs. And by the way, this is your exclusive phone number just for those of you here in this community to take advantage of that. They're waiting to help you. Otherwise, please subscribe. If you're new here, if you've not done so, subscribe to the channel, totally free to do so. Feel free to share this video with your friends on my social media, big share button down below. Feel free to check out the nearly 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or popping up on your screen in just a minute. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, please have a nice day. Take care. Thanks again, and I'll catch you again later in the next